So it caches this fetch.
Yeah.
And who's doing that? Is that Node?
That's Next.
That's Next. So Next has some hooks into fetch.
Yes.
Oh. Okay, so last time we figured out the difference between client components and server actions, right? It's not really server components. They still render on the server, also work on the client. They're client components, but there's a server action where we do like a real-ish form post, right? So today, we want to put it all together and we want to start doing some data fetching from the server. So a common scenario, right, would be that you've got an API that you need to call that's, living somewhere else, right? Some third-party API or whatever. And we want to call that from Next, but we want to call it on the server, right? Like in case there's auth keys or other things that we don't want to show the client.
Yes.
Okay, and Jordan has done some research on this already because last time we really screwed it up. It took us a really long time and we felt really stupid. So today we're going to do better. So one of the things that we found today that we thought would be a cool thing to fetch, even though we hate crypto, the Bitcoin price API actually is a really useful thing to demonstrate what we're talking about today. So we are using the Bitstamp.net API. And the main reason is that it actually has a timestamp that updates fairly regularly versus some other Bitcoin. Okay, so let's build this Bitcoin price guy, right? So we know now how to make new pages. So I'm gonna just make a new folder in here. We're gonna call it Bitcoin. Boom, we're gonna steal one of these pages here. I'm gonna remove basically everything from this guy. I guess we're gonna need a homepage thing. It's not really the homepage, but that's okay. So we're gonna call this guy, he's gonna be like H1 Bitcoin price. All right, and do we wanna use a client or a server component?
Yeah, so you deleted the client thing. I think that's good.
Is it a use server?
That's sort of the implication anyway, right? Although you can do that.
We'll be explicit. And so the reason we'd use a server here is so that if we had some really nasty authentication goo, some keys, some request signing, things like that, we would be able to hide it from the client. That stuff will never come down to the client. Is that true? Actually,
yes.
Does it show up in the JavaScript bundle or no?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Amazing.
That's my understanding.
All right, and I'm going to keep this, the reason I got this space here is just so that our faces don't get in the way of things. Okay, so let's make sure, so we got the Bitcoin price page, let's make sure that works. So if I go here and I go to Bitcoin, we have a build error because server actions must be, okay, must be what?
Async functions? Oh, do they have to be? Okay, it's just async function, I guess.
Async.
Then does it work?
Bitcoin.
I did not know that actually.
I didn't either, and so
I did. I switched to async because I like it better. I didn't know you had to.
Okay, so the Bitcoin price is $10. Okay, that's what we're just going to say that for now because we need to go get the Bitcoin price.
Yes. And
so we found this API. So this we asked ChatGPT, and it actually knew about a lot of different Bitcoin APIs, but this one in particular is good because you can see here there is a timestamp. Ends in 21, ends in 27, right? So it's updating fairly frequently. And so here is the last Bitcoin price in dollars. So not Ether or Avalanche or I don't know what the hell else they got. And we've got a whole bunch of stuff, but we're mostly concerned with the last price and the timestamp, yes?
Yes.
So I want to call this and I want to put it on my page. So do I just fetch?
Yeah, so now you have a response or whatever.
And so then, as I recall, I think I need to do this, right?
Yep, exactly.
And do I need to await him to?
I think he's await.
Yeah, does he have a wait or is he a promise? He's a promise man. Okay, so now I have some JSON, and so actually, in theory, I could just log JSON.last, right? Because that's like our last price.
Right.
Oh, look, and there he is. He shows up down here. Okay, sweet. So that worked really slick.
So we could shove him right in there now.
So I can do, and so let's be professional. So we'll do JSON.last And he is already a number?
He
Or no,
looks
he
like-
is a
oh, no,
string.
he's a string.
So what we could do is we could do like this and then like 2 locale string, right?
Yeah.
So that we get a nice looking Bitcoin price.
Yeah, look at that.
And then let's put, so that's our price. And then maybe we have,
Yeah, like a last updated.
yeah, just like, I don't know, last updated. And so that is, so he's timestamped, and this looks an awful lot like just milliseconds since epoch, right?
Yeah.
So that, let's assume that's what it is. So we can we just do like this, and then like this.
Yeah, let's see what happens then. Just 2 string or something.
Yeah, so then, so he's maybe 2, how about 2 locale string, just because we
Yeah.
like internationalization.
Yeah, one of our favorites.
Ooh, that is not correct
my.
at all.
Do times 1,000.
Times 1,000. Parse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
like
he'd
right
probably be
there.
like right here, yes?
Yeah, that was 100.
Ooh, did I do 100? Thank you. This is why the pair programming comes in. Hey!
Hey, yeah,
look
there
at
we
that.
go.
So that was seconds since epoch, and we wanted milliseconds since epoch. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Right,
now if
so,
I reload
okay.
this, he does
He doesn't?
not. Why does he not update?
I feel like he should.
feel
What?
like-
Because you're in dev mode.
Oh, there
right?
we go. Is there some sort of caching happening? Oh, there he goes. Because I disabled the cache in the dev tools.
Maybe your browser was.
Oh yeah, so the browser's caching it.
So if you like do like the control F5
Yeah,
or
here,
something.
let me do that. Control F5. Yeah, there he works.
Yeah, okay, so the browser knows that this is supposed to be a cacheable page. That's interesting.
So how do we make it not a cacheable page?
Wow, that's not, so the reason the browser actually, let's look at the headers. Does it say?
So he says,
The response headers there.
oh, sorry, yep. So cache control, no store, must revalidate. Let's see, where's the expires? Is there an expires?
Weird.
Date, Friday,
That
October
doesn't
24th.
that doesn't look super cacheable.
No, it doesn't. He's definitely cached though.
Yeah, this is surprising. I did not have this happening.
In Firefox?
Yeah. But when you load hard, it does.
Yeah, so this is Control F5 and it's updating. We've hit an edge, Jordan. We were going so good too. We were like really.
I bet you it is it actually revalidating and the server is saying it's not changed.
No, it's hard because once I let me.
Well, you gotta
keep the
undo
cache.
that. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, and I'll preserve the log. Okay,
So that's 200.
so he's a 200.
He's a 200.
It's like there's some kind of next caching happening.
You know what it could be?
Just got rid of him, of course.
Maybe.
Let me do
Yes,
Jason.
yeah, maybe.
Timestamp.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's doing it, but it's the same.
But it's the same.
Well, so here's the thing. I'm just surprised it's happening in the dev build.
That's super weird, man.
So, this is a thing I thought we wouldn't run into right away, which is if you do this in the production build, this happens all the time.
So it's some kind of cache. So, but like, what is the method of which it's caching? Like, because
Caching the fetch.
so it caches this fetch,
Yeah.
and who's doing that? Is that Node?
That's next.
That's Next. So Next has some hooks into fetch.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. So this is not that. So we, if you want to test this, we could tell it not to cache it. You want to do that?
I do.
Or
Is
is that
this-
a bridge too far?
is this? Therein is the problem.
Next patched.
So he is not the. So the important thing to know here is that it is not the native fetch.
Yes.
It is, out of curiosity, if I do this, does this still work? Yeah. Now does it? Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So Next has
when they
got
talk
its
about-
grubby hooks in there.
Right. And when they talk about caching in Next, they mean like they built it in. Like
Oh.
if you touch the fetch, it's gonna cache it.
Oh.
Which is now but not for posts, right? Or puts.
Okay, so it's gets mainly.
It's because we're doing a get.
Well, how do we tell it not like hands off my friggin' data?
Yeah. So if you want it to never cache it, that you can, there's a second argument you can put after the URL there.
Ooh, what do I put?
Yeah,
Is it in like a JSON payload?
Yep, exactly. It is cache : and then a string no dash store. There's a bunch of different arguments.
Is this a real fetch thing that they've also hijacked, or like is this?
I'm not sure about that. Yeah, they might be. I don't know. I don't know. Fetch,
Ooh, there we go.
right?
Oh yeah, that's way better. So one key takeaway is that if you're going to use fetch to do data fetching from a third party in Next, you got to be very careful because Next has actually put their hooks. They've wrapped the native fetch. Yes.
Yes.
And so this,
And it caches by default.
and so, this is not the fetch that you expect it to be. And so we ran into a problem specifically where we had to actually tell the Next fetch, like, hands off, dude, just go get that shit every time.
Yes.
Okay.
And my impression is that happens automatically for gets. Put in posts are not fetched.
And do you know what the default time is? It forever or is it?
So I played with that. I think it's forever.
Okay, unless a query param changes or something.
Yeah. Unless you have query params, which we do not.
Yep.
Right. Like we're not reading the query params.
Yep.
If we did read the query params, he would behave differently.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is like, all right.
It goes really deep, really fast.
So now though, for now though, we're gonna ignore. We figured out how to tell it not to do that stuff, right?
Yes.
So now what we got to figure out is how do we get that price? Because like nobody wants to have to hit Control R to reload the page every time to see the price change, right? So we need to figure out how to dynamically update that price every 5 seconds or so.
Yeah. How do we do that?